All right. Hi, I'm Laura. Laura Cain. I've been with Turnkey for about 4.5 years. Before that, as Diane was saying, we all have accounting. Most of us have accounting background, so I was in that field for a long time. So I'm going to do tips and tricks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through my slideshow a little bit. I have some screenshots, and then I'm actually going to go into GP and kind of show you some of these things. So what I'm going to talk about is what Diane was alluding to is the Smart List report, just to verify all your balance sheet and income statement accounts are actual balance sheet and income statement accounts. They're set to the right one before you close the year. I'm going to show you how to kind of write off some underpayments, overpayments. So if you have a little bit, if people have paid like over $1, you can set the amount, but we'll talk about that, where you can write those off real easily. I wanted to talk about, I thought about this when Diane was talking, but inactivate accounts at year end. If you haven't used any, we can set some, you can set something on the year end to make sure those are still inactivated. I'm going to talk about document attachment. And I'm also going to talk about posting setup, where we can turn off some reports. We can, a lot of people, I've done a lot of implementations lately, and people don't know how to turn off reports. So I kind of want to go through that. And also customizing your homepage and user preferences. Again, I've talked about this before on past user group meetings, but and Bill and I were talking about this today, that we still have a lot of people who don't realize that what you can do with that. So I'll just kind of go through it. So I have little pictures and how to get to places on here but I'll go through these again in GP actually. We'll go through this and you'll be sent this, so you have record, you'll have some pictures to remember what we did. So I am going to open GP. So this is GP 18. So I am going to first go through the Smart List, and probably most people hopefully know this, but if you go to Microsoft Dynamics up at the top, you can go to Smart List. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to under the financial, under accounts. You can just pick this one that has the asterisk by it. And you just search, and you will see that you have this one just comes up with account number, description, posting type, and category type. What you're looking for before you close the year is that everything that is actually, so this looks like it's starting with, this company here is starting with 4s. That's your income statement, and anything below that is your balance sheet. So I would just kind of take a quick run through to make sure everything that's 4 and under is balance sheet. As I was looking at this before we jumped in, I did see, so on here I saw, so then you want everything on this to be P&L. I did see a couple in here, and I'd have to look. Project billings, unbilled, so these are things that I might check just to make sure. And it's easy, just enough to change. If something needs to be changed, you could really double click, and it goes right into the account maintenance, where you can change it from balance sheet P&L. So that's one thing I would do before you guys close the year, just to make sure all your accounts are in the right bucket. Also, so Diane was talking about the closing the GL. That is under your routines, year end. So she was talking about the status bar. When you hit the close year, I think 2013 and beyond, you have a status bar, so you kind of can see where things are. It will have I think it's a green bar. But we also have this remove unused segment numbers and maintain inactive accounts. So you have this, if you check this, you could do with budget numbers, all inactive accounts if you want to keep those up there. But if you want to just remove them, we can do that. I just want to kind of show you can do that as well. You could maintain just inactive accounts with a budget. So you can kind of play around with that, whatever, just to make sure you guys knew that that was there. And again, in I think 13 and beyond, you do have this reverse. If there's ever a reason you do need to, something's happened where an income statement account is really a balance sheet, you could reverse this. You could reverse your year-end, but make sure you have that. But I think it's 13 and older, so we probably don't have too many. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Anybody have any questions with those couple things? Next thing I want to show you is for sales. If you go down to sales, if you go down to write-off documents, this is a really handy tool that you could use not only at year-end, but you could use monthly if you have a need for this. Overpayments, underpayments. Brenda, I don't know if we talked about this. Maybe we did. But it's real easy. You could set a limit where you have, if it's overpayments, you can make it $1, $5, whatever you and your, I'm going to do underpayments here, whatever you guys decide to do. So maybe I'll make this 10. I can just make it $10. That's my limit. I could do it by ID, or I could just run the whole thing, and I can preview it first. So this is going to be underpayments for all my customers. So I'll go ahead and preview this first before I hit process. So I made sure I had some of these in here. So I have some that have, make that a little bigger, but 5. So it's showing me everything that's under $10 that I can just do a process. So you could, if I didn't want to have some of these, I could, if I didn't want to have, say this one, I could just uncheck it and click OK. Then I hit process. And this is just going to get rid of those. It's going to do your, I'll just put everything to screen here. See how all these print up? Maybe I need them, maybe I don't. We'll talk about that in a second. So this will just give you your apply document. It's just taking the $5 and writing it off to bad debt expense. You can change that however you want. But this is really I think it's really good for even month end. You could just set a $5, whatever your company decides. And it's quick and easy. You don't have to do credit memos, debit memos to get rid of everything, and it just applies it and gets rid of it all for you. But I just did overpayments. We're going to have some more reports coming down. I'll go back to the write-off document. So you could do it underpayments, overpayments. You can pick and choose. If you don't want to do all your customers, you could pick specific customers, that kind of thing. Cutoff date. So, it's your choice. So, but again, you have this preview here that you can see what it is before you actually do it. You can uncheck those people that you don't want to get rid of those overpayments, underpayments.
Can you set what account you want it to?
Yes, we can set that up in your posting. Yep, you can set that up. Anybody else have any questions? Okie dokie. Next, I'm going to do, does everybody know they may use the document attachment in GP? So if you go to, first off, go to admin, and if you go to your company, there's a document attachment setup. You can go, and again, you'll have to have power user rights or SA to probably turn this on. But if you click on document attachment, make sure it's clicked here, allow document attachment. You could allow attachments to be deleted if you just check that. If you want to have a password where they can't be deleted, so somebody actually has to put that in before it's actually deleted. Something with 18 that I think is fantastic is it allows attachments to be added in an inquiry window. So what I'm going to show you is where you can put an attachment to a vendor a customer, an invoice, but then also you can, if you forgot to attach something, maybe it's an email to a journal entry after you've posted it, you can now go into the inquiry in 18 and attach a document there. So I have all this turned on, but this is where you would turn that on, and I put that in my presentation for everybody to see. So I will go, for now, I'll go to purchasing. If I wanted to go to my vendor, I can just pick a vendor. Maybe I'll just attach. Mine's kind of hidden here, but there'll be a paper clip. So I can just click attach. Maybe I want to put, I don't know, the 1099 information, W-2. I can just click attach. And I had to kind of put this out here, this test, whatever you want to do. If it's an email, whatever, I'll hit OK. And you see if I go back, this has an attachment, a paper attached to it. So that's when you know it would be attached. So anytime we can just go back in, click on here, preview it, you can see the information. That's test. Same with an invoice. So if I'm entering an invoice, again, I can click attach. Just save. Probably need to put attach in here. Attach. Yep, I already said that. So again, you would just attach on here. I can put this document. Click OK, and again, that paper clips got a paper on it. So now you can, when you're in financial, you can also, so you can do this on a journal entry. So say somebody told you to do a journal entry. To do this particular journal entry, so you want to attach that email. Again, you can, let's see, let me get an account in here. So you could just copy, you have the document, you can have that posted so that you can attach that email to have that with you. Let's see if I do test here. You get the idea. But you can go, we'll do that, but you can pull up a summary, any kind of summary. Let's see if I have anything for that particular account. And I picked the wrong one here, so say I'm going to go into the inquiry. I'll go into that change. Maybe it's this here. I'll look at this. That is the one that I wanted to put an attachment to, and I forgot. I see the attachments there. I can go ahead and attach it, and it's on there again. So you see the paper, Anybody have any questions with this? But it is 18 is when I think it's when with the inquiry. But I think that's a great idea. So you can, if you're looking and researching, you can attach something to it, whatever will help you guys, for approving or whatever. Anybody have any questions?
Laura?
Yes?
So one thing I would mention is that when you do attachments, you need to remember that attachments are saved in GP. So the file that you attach, you can delete from your wherever you saved in your network. GP will keep its own copy of that file.
Yes, and when you set it up, and I didn't go through that, but I should have, on your document attachment setup. So you can put a default location where everybody has to put it in a certain spot, and then you could click this delete file from default after it's attached. Yes.
The document attachment, when's the retention period for those?
Retention period for those?
In GP?
Yeah, I think it's forever. Yeah.
And it's stored on the SQL server, so you do want to pay attention to that.
How much you're putting in, yeah.
Because the size could start,
I mean, you don't want to put, right.
yeah.
So we're pointing this to a location, or is it?
You can put it,
Server.
say that again?
I heard two different things. I heard you say you pointed to a location, everybody pointed to a location to store the document. Or is it stored in a SQL server?
It's stored on the SQL server. What we were talking about here is instead of, you can have all your documents, have them put it to the S drive on your system. And then it gets deleted from the system right there. It's still in GP, which is on the SQL server.
Well, how do you know if there's an attachment to a document? I mean, is there some kind of flag or a star or something? I mean, how would you know?
So if I was looking at this, you saw that paper clip before. It's a paper clip, and then it's if I have this one here, now I can, if I'm looking at this, I'm researching it, I can look at the actual journal entry, and this one tells me that it's not a paper clip, it has a paper with a paper clip. Does that make sense?
Well, I know, but I'm just thinking to a user, they're going to think, well, but we attach something to it?
No, I mean, we'd have to talk to him because here, so if you look at here, when I'm looking at, so this just has a paper clip. Yep.
All right.
So this has a paper clip, so nothing's attached.
Got it.
Yep. So we just have to make sure they knew that as they're researching and trying to find out, they can see then the attachment there.
That's usually you're in close. That slow everything down even further.
I don't think it, does it close?
No, because that's not part of the
Yeah.
process of what the thing.
But
I don't know whether it's not transaction. Pardon me?
You're moving transactions to the history table.
I think they'll just need links to those attachments.
Yes, just links, yes. And it's just, I don't think it will have anything to do with the year-end close. I think it's just, as Diane was saying, kind of keep an eye and maybe limit how much, just to see how much space it's taking on your SQL. Anybody else have any questions? Okey-doke. Again, I'm going to talk about when I saw those reports come up. I don't know. Does everybody know how to change the reports to make them stop? So if you don't need all of them, if you don't print them, I'll just kind of go through that. Again, you can go to admin. And under admin, so if you don't have, you'd have to make sure you have the rights to that. But if you go into posting, so if I can do it by series, so financial, I can go to each one of the bank deposit entry. If I decide I don't want that, I could just uncheck it. If I don't want that report that comes up every time. Right here it says, and I put this on the my display, all the screenshots. But here it's the question mark. It'll ask you, do you want to print? Do you want to print to screen? Here's the printer, and I kind of showed you. So here's the screen. Here's the printer. Here's the file. You can kind of change those up a little bit. So as we're going through, let's see. Let me find it. I'm going to go to AP, yeah. So computer checks. So you see on computer checks, there's a whole lot of reports that are stored. So if I don't want the EFT, I can just turn those off. I can turn those off, turn it off. So it just doesn't, if I'm not going to print it and save it, or if I don't look at it, which you still, maybe you should still look at them, but I'm just saying some of these reports that you might not use, you can just turn them off. Or you can just put it to screen, you can print it, you can put it to a file. But just to know that that's all there. And it's by module, so you can go to your purchasing, sales, just go through that, and go through each one of your transactions that you're doing and turn those off.
I might have missed this, Laura, but do you have to have like an SA account or something to do that, or?
You don't have to have, power user, I think, though. I don't think it needs to be SA to be in here, but it's a power user at least.
Okay.
You can also, and I don't know if anybody, so this is where if anybody is not posting through, so receivables, if it's not posting through to the general ledger, this is where you could change this as well. This button here, it's posting through to the general, this one is not turned on. I would want this is computer checked. So if your transactions, your payables, receivables are not posting through and you want them to, this is where we would change that here. So, once you have all that, just hit OK. And that's, you've turned off all the reports that you want, kept the ones you needed. Anybody have any questions with that one?
We do have an online question here.
Surely.
I'm new to GP. Can you create a trial balance using SmartList using one table, or do you need to list two tables?
A trial balance within
Do
the one, yeah, the account balance, but so here we go. So to get a trial balance, I mean, you could, I'm sorry? Where are you thinking that? I was just going to do transactions too. Transactions, and you can filter by date. But you'd have to, this is giving you all the, years. So you'd have to go in and search by your, turn off, this is, I think this is 2027. So I'd have to search and pick my year that I want, equal to 2027. And this will give me all the information by period, 1, 2, 3. So that's one way you could do a trial balance. You could also do it by transaction if you wanted more detail, and just put the month in that you want to have for that. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about is the home screen. Like I said, I've had a lot of new GP people and or upgraded people, and they weren't sure of, they didn't realize that you could customize your home screen here, which you have. So this one I just have quick links and my reports and to-do lists. If you click up here to the right, top right, where it says customize the screen, it will come up, customize my home page. So if there's things you don't want, if I don't want my reports here, I can uncheck that. I love this quick link. This is where you can put, so say I go into the summary, financial summary all the time. That's what I mostly do. I go in there to review. I can just go to quick links. I can click this arrow. And it's actually, I think, already here, but I can go to add Microsoft window. And I would just go down to inquiry, financial, summary, and click OK. And so it was already there. Another thing you can do, which I did do, is web page. So if you have your bank, maybe, that you go into when you're, you can have that on your home page already set up. For right now, I've just set up Yahoo. So I put that up there, and you can kind of move up and down. So if I want that summary inquiry, and then once you've got everything, you can also put, if there's an Excel sheet that you're using, Word document that you use all the time as you're looking at GP, you can put that on there as well. So it's just a quick link. You put all your quick links on there where you don't have to navigate to all the different modules. Okay. So here I can just click on summary inquiry. It comes right up. So I don't have to navigate to financial inquiry. And, Yahoo, if it's your bank or your company website, you can just put that right there, and it's just right there on your home screen. There's no navigating around. Also, on your home screen here, there's also this user preference I always like to tell people about. So this is where you can, I can't do this because I'm in SFA, but if you needed to change your password, so maybe you have your password and you want to change it, you can change your password or have you put your current password and then what you want it to be. You also have, if you're doing, so it gives you the window command display, action, pane, the strip, the menu bar, and I kind of put descriptions on that on my presentation so you guys could see it. If you're doing sales documents, a lot of people don't, you can change, so it's always, does ever use file sales documents, you can put the invoice instead of the quote. You can change that if you want. Display, this is also good. If you want to change the link field from blue to yellow, I've tried that, it's not really good. Blue and underlined, maybe I want red and gold, just to make sure all my required fields stand out for me. And this is by user, so they can do whatever they want. I can do something, then somebody else can do something else. Hit apply and OK. But yeah, this is, so again, just by user preference that you can kind of play around with some of these changes. But I think the biggest is passwords. If you just want to change it for whatever reason to something that you remember easy, you can do that.